Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Thresh, and I'll be facing off against the Karma adventure from the Legends of Arcane campaign. I really only need to beat this adventure with one champion from the Shadow Isles, so I'm hoping that the improved Thresh that I have, with it being level 29 now and having 5 stars instead of just 4. I hope that will be enough to beat it. I'm still running the Soul Lantern Corrupted Star Fragment, mostly because it increases Thresh's stats by a whole bunch. And then I decided to slot in the Warmog's armor last, because I feel like the regeneration might be useful to keep Thresh going after multiple trades. So let's get to it. Knuckle up, the light guides us from prey to predator. If this was every round instead of just when I have the attack token, I would be inclined to pick from prey to predator. But as is, I think I'm better off just rerolling and hoping for some better powers. And I shouldn't have rerolled. All of these are pretty bad. Let's roll again. Your spells and skills deal 2 extra damage. It works on the Vile Fist. It works on the box from Thresh when I have it. But that's about it. Honestly, it's not that tempting. Maybe I can do better? I'm going to reroll yet again. And now create a card, grant it a rare or epic item, Primal Hall, Arrowed Path. That's interesting. I think it works with the Soul Lantern, because it summons an ephemeral copy, so it's created by the Soul Lantern. It will give an item to the Encroaching Mist as well, and to the Spiderling, to the Escaped Abomination as well, and to the Warden Spray, which we do summon off of the Soul Hunt. Yeah, I'll pick these up. Hopefully the items I get will be useful. Okay, so let's keep the Camoveron Soldier and the Vengeance. Vengeance for 4 is decent, and it's a nice curve. Unfortunately, we drew the Wings and the Wave out of the Farsight alteration. Flash Bomb Satchel. It's not really going to impact the game all that much, but it's better than nothing. Let's trade them in. These two.
You'll soon understand my
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to pass up on the free Cursed Keepers. Even though they can't attack right away, they might still be relevant. Ooh, that's a huge hit. I can drain one from one of the opponent's units. You know what, I'll do just that. The opponent summons another unit, but that's fine. I don't have enough blockers for every single one, but I'm only taking 5, so it's fine. And I can drop down Thresh right away here. Let's also do this. Try to grow one unit to the maximum amount of stats possible. Heavy Hands. It's a very good pickup. Theoretically, this is correct, right? I will summon another Thresh off of this. I think that's good, right? Or maybe not. Maybe I needed to... It's less, right? It's not equal or less, unfortunately. So no Thresh for me right now. But on the next attack, I'm definitely getting a Thresh.
Kneel students, rise warriors.
And I've managed to establish board control. The opponent obviously has to recall one back to his hand. But, so I think I'm in a good position, but the opponent does have more card advantage than I do. That might be a challenge. And I have no more spells in deck. And the opponent keeps summoning elusives. Well, fortunately I have an elusive unit.
Hardened scales. I call my training.
So I can go ahead and at the very least kill that one. Just to prevent more damage from going through.
My friends.
Sure would be nice if I could get Overwhelm on Thresh now that it has double attack. Well, that's exactly what I wanted. Can I afford to play this though? I don't think so. I think I'm better off just attacking like so and hoping that the elusive with double attack is enough to close out the game. And the opponent develops a blocker. I should have figured that would happen. Now what?
The order rewards its faithful.
Can I play this and skip? Yes, I can. Perfect. I would rather not draw any cards, considering I'm that low, this low on cards in the first place. The opponent's also getting quite low himself. I can hopefully go infinite with Thrashes the box.
What would you wish to learn?
Courage masks the heart from
Hopefully, that is. Let's block there, block there. Unfortunately, I'll have to toss the Escaped Abomination. But it's fine, I get to keep these two alive.
A vital weapon.
And the opponent doesn't appear to have all that much remaining. So next turn I'm going to be able to go for an open attack right away. And that should close out the game. Especially considering this unit has Overwhelm. And game over. Great. Oh, yeah. Let's hope this game is a sign of things to come, because it didn't really go all that poorly. I did take a bit of damage, but I should be able to heal it back up quite easily. Yordle Ranger. Or the Undying. I'm going to pick up the Undying just because it gives me a constant sacrifice fodder. Now for our support champion, Rumble, Sivir or Ashe. Sivir is interesting because she shares all her keywords once she levels up. Rumble can get a lot of keywords as well. And he can give me value and units to summon after he levels up. And then we have Ashe. Ashe is just stall options, which I don't think that are enough to get us to the victory. I think out of all of these choices, Rumble is the best one. So I'm going to pick up the Rumble. Honored Lord, item chest. The correct choice is probably the Honored Lord. Yeah, let's go for the Honored Lord. If I'm not mistaken, it gives our champions an item. So, considering how much Thresh is focused on cheating out a champion, I think that's for the best. I'll keep the Bilrat Rascal and the Vile Fist, I think. Okay,
Breathe in.
we got Rumble on the first turn. Not exactly what I wanted. I would much rather have a Thresh. On the other hand, I can summon a bunch of Warden Spray. Nah. Let's just manifest a Mecha Yordle because they have an item on them. Yeah, the Mecha Yordle with the double attack seems better.
We each hold a world within.
Let's go ahead and trade the Warden Spray in. I fully intend to go double Vile Fist next turn. Hopefully go ahead and generate enough blockers to deal with the opponent's attacking turn. I know you'll have a Dragonling, yeah. Full expected that.
Everything's better with company.
Says you.
I can either go for double here to get rid of the elusive, or I can get rid of the Dragonlings. Dragonlings are a bigger threat, I think. Ooh. Right, Dragonlings give regeneration to the... or not regeneration, they give lifesteal when they die, so I'm actually going to be able to stall out this game quite nicely, as long as I keep one unit on board. That's probably for the better, for the best. I think it's safe to drop down Rumble here. Can go Rumble. I'll discard one for the impact, and then a second one for the quick attack. And I'll just leave the spell shield. Watch as it... okay. He's just stunning Rumble. I was about to say watch as he bounces Rumble back to my hand so I can't do anything. Or and I waste 2 cards by discarding them. But it turns out it was fine. And now if Rumble leveled up or buffed up, I can actually restore even more health. Really? You're pulling Rumble in order to stun it. That's a bit annoying. But the thing is, you're wasting quite a lot of resources on this attack. And I can not easily make up all of the health you just took here, but I'll get there. Really, I'm out of spells in the deck already. I guess my deck has a lot of units on it. Let's drop down the Mecha Yordle. I kind of want the Rumble to get a clean hit. Mostly so that he can level up and start generating more Mecha Yordles. And that denies the Rumble level up. How annoying. Well, at the very least I can make it so that Eye of the Dragon dies. That's better than nothing.
Hit that red line.
Affirmative. Physical discomfort.
Wait, actually, Rumble leveled up.
Even at
I'm
war,
surprised.
you remain so calm.
Would
I
panic
didn't take
and
into
hope,
account the
fellow?
fact that the extra attack damage would make it so Rumble would level up. That's huge for me now. Can just... Dune Hopper? No. I think I'd rather just generate blockers to deal with the opponent's upcoming attack. Obviously attacks. I knew that was going to happen. The opponent was never going to pass up an opportunity to attack with a full board. Let's get rid of the highest health, Tail of the Dragon. I can jump block the Elusive and the Dragonling. Can kill the Eye of the Dragon. And I suppose I can remove that one. It seems fine. Not the best thing in the world, but it helps me establish some sort of board presence, especially with the Dune Hopper coming down and being able to attack with it twice next turn. It getting all of the stat buffs and keywords is also great.
Base smashing level maximum. Physical discomfort systems online.
Is the opponent just going to let me win here? Because it sure seems like it. They didn't even bother blocking the Sand Soldiers. Okay. I stun my largest unit.
I best dragons. You can't frighten me.
But can they block this attack?
Hold up!
I guess they can.
Ouch. Initiated.
I still get more Mecha Yordles in hand, which is fine by me.
Easy, pal. Keep your helmet on.
As long as Rumble stays alive, I'll just have infinite value. In fact, I have a way to close out the game this turn.
This
I can
will
just
give
go
those who listen.
Gift Giver,
Journey is difficult.
and then I'll kill it with... Or he can just
You spurn
let
my
me trade
gift.
in like so. That's also an option. I was about to
Protector.
kill the Gift Giver with the Spirit Leech in order to go for the attack. But it was unnecessary because the opponent decided to make my life easier. Can you stop casting spells? Of course he stays alive one extra turn.
Base smashing
I should have known that he would find a way to survive. Well, I'll just do this. Set up so that the next turn I close out the game. In fact, I'm going to take advantage of everything. Let's go for the scout attack first, and then we let the opponent decide what to do. He's overcommitting. By doing both of those, he no longer has a way to protect himself from this. Finally. That game took way too long. The opponent was struggling way too much. He should have known that no matter what he did, he was always going to lose. Splinter Soul, Bundle Gunners, Malefic Spear. I guess Splinter Soul, mostly because all the other options seemed quite bad. Do I want to go for Quick Strike Blade on Thresh? Or Colossal Hammer? With Colossal Hammer, Thresh guaranteed summons Rumble every time. I think this is better. Now all we have to do is ensure that we draw Thresh at the start of the game, and we'll be able to go for an attack with Thresh, summoning Rumble every turn, which in theory is enough to get us to victory, because Thresh is going to have a bunch of keywords. For a second there I was about to complain that we drew Rumble yet again, even though we have more Thrashes in deck than Rumbles. But it seemed like it was fine. Also I drew the Wings and the Wave, not of the Farsight Alteration, which means I'm getting extremely unlucky this game.
Currents, pull them down.
I'm fine with the opponent just drawing one spell. If the Undying dies there.
We swim within the flows of magic.
This is better than it seems actually, because with the Undying coming back at the start of every, or giving me a spirit or a copy of it at the start of every turn, I can now go for more discard plays with the Rumble.
The river folk.
Also, let's drop down the Thresh here. We get Undying, or we get an Undying here. Then we can drop down the Thresh or the Rumble. I'm going to discard these three to give the Rumbles everywhere all the keywords possible. Then we attack like so. Or I can get the Rumble. I think getting a Rumble is better. Mostly because I get to keep that Rumble. It might seem bad, but fortunately I had the 2 mana left over, so this Rumble survives. The unfortunate part is that I didn't get enough damage to level up the Rumble, but I'll get there. Next turn I can level up the Rumble, and then the opponent's going to be screwed. There goes my Thresh. Fortunately, since Thresh gets its cost reduced every time an ally dies, I just had more than enough mana to replay the Thresh. Bit of a mistake on the opponent's part, bouncing Thresh like that. Really? We summoned a Thresh off of a Thresh, and we even got lucky enough to get the item that rallies when the unit dies. If the opponent doesn't stop this attack, okay. I was about to say, if the opponent doesn't stop this attack, I'll just attack again and close out the game, but turns out the opponent can't do anything. I can definitely feel that I'm struggling a lot less than the last time I attempted this adventure with Thresh. Death's Grasp, Loping Telescope, Scrappy's Partsapalooza. I think I value the board space more than the random keyword on a Mecha Yordle, so I'm going to pick up the Death's Grasp. Now we can even remove a card at the healer. What's the weakest card in my deck right now? Either the Splinter Soul or the Squeaker. I think it's the Splinter Soul. What would even be useful to copy? Camaforan Soldier maybe? The Cursed Keeper? The Warden Spray? The Champions, I guess? Okay, I've convinced myself that Splinter Soul is better than Squeaker. So let's get the Squeaker. Babbling Balladeers, Flame Chompers, Mirror Image, Professor Von Mac. Let's see the power. When an ally is summoned or attacks, plant a flash bomb trap in the top 8 cards of the enemy's deck. I don't feel like spending my last reroll here, so I'm just going to take that and move on. Got the card. Once again, what's the weakest card in my deck? Maybe the Splinter Soul? It's no longer a toss-up between the Splinter Soul and the Squeaker. So maybe now I remove the Splinter Soul. It's unfortunately a slow speed spell that makes it significantly more awkward to play. I'll keep the Rumble and the Spirit Leech. Toss everything else, yeah. Hopefully I get Thresh here. The Undying is fine. There's the Thresh.
Heart and mind as one.
I would like to play Thresh here. I can reduce Thresh's cost by 1 by doing this.
My path is clear.
An open heart teaches more.
3
than
plus
open eyes.
4 is 7. But it removes the cost of the mana cost on Thresh by 1. So I don't have enough mana to go for Thresh alongside these two. So maybe just going for the Thresh Roy is better. I'll do it. And then I can just pull like so. And hope that I pull a Rumble. Good. Unfortunately, he gets to keep the Karma around. But this is still fine because I ended up summoning a Rumble anyway. And it's a copy of a Rumble. So I have more Rumbles in my deck than I started the game with. It one's overdrawing. Where did he get the double attack? Flurry of Fists. Ah, that card. And now Karma has challengers. And she's going to attack twice. This doesn't bode well for me. Let's just do this in order to generate an additional blocker. Let's block there. I'll block here, block there. The more units die, the closer Thresh gets to leveling up, so this is good for me. Not like Thresh pulling a champion out of the deck is that relevant, considering we can just do that normally with the Soul Lantern.
Nothing escapes my watch.
She actually pulls the Rumble. Interesting.
My wisdom
It does release the unit she has in the she had in the Rumble, but it gives me an opportunity to do this,
locked and loaded. Come on.
which gives all of my Rumbles everywhere impact and quick attack. Which is very relevant, because now the opponent can't do anything to stop this from happening.
Adjustments. Come on, baby.
Unfortunately, I miscalculated exactly how many units would be summoned here, so that's my bad. Still, this was more than enough damage for one turn. I think overall I'm in a pretty good position, especially considering I can just kill one of the opponent's units with the box right there. Also, we're hitting a lot of flash bomb traps. It's kind of lucky. Well, they could have gotten luckier because they could have hit all of them on the Zephyr Sage. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about the Zephyr Sage anymore.
We each hold a world within.
How many flash bomb traps do we even have in the deck? We actually have a lot more than I anticipated, and the opponent has been hitting a lot more than I figured they would as well. As is full board, but I think by this point we can just win.
The dragon binds us.
Is this enough? Oh no,
Be at peace.
the opponent's sealing herself. That's 20 hitting there. 20 plus 2, 20. Okay, we have lethal. If I just remove that dragon link. I definitely didn't want to drag on this game any longer than I needed to. I know for a fact that I would lose a battle of attrition because the opponent can just shuffle more cards into his deck and just generate more spells with Karma. I definitely needed to end things right then and there. Ancient Coin, Great Club, Colossal Hammer. Yeah, let's give the Thresh the Great Club. Now we don't have to rely on the 4 mana unit in order to give Thresh Overwhelm. Caretaker's Blessing. Caught in the Webs, Solar Power. Most of my units have buffed up stats, right? Not the Wings and the Wave, but Warden Spray, Cursed Keeper. Yeah, let's pick up the Caretaker's Blessing. The Maker. Or Draklord Inquisitor. Draklord Inquisitor was what ended our run last time around. Let's not make the same mistake again. Let's face the Maker. Except the Maker is a very annoying opponent to fight against. Let's toss both of these. I'm actually going to keep the Thresh around. The opponent's probably just going to end up bouncing my Warden Spray here. I can actually do this, just to ensure that I keep those keywords for the next round. I would actually like them. And I'll use the Pesky Spectre as a sort of bait in order to make it so the opponent dumps his hand. And then I can do this. And end up trading a lot of units in. So Thresh is quite cheap now. The Escaped Abomination is going to be buffed up by a whole bunch. And hopefully this will be enough to prevent the opponent from going ahead and bouncing it back to my hand. I'll actually do this mostly to keep the board under control, and it also reduces the cost of the Thresh by 1. Honestly, I'm perfectly fine with these trades. I don't understand why the opponent would attack there, but I'll take it. Now I cannot actually kill this Soul Spinner in order to give the Thresh double attack. I think I'll take it. It also improves the Thresh's stats by a whole bunch. That's unfortunate. Still Tempest prevents Thresh from dealing a billion damage there. But I do have a lot of champions on board now. Do I want to go for the box? It kills one opponent. I'll do it. Kills one of the opponent's units, softens up the other one. Gets Thresh closer to leveling up. We have a huge concentration of keywords right then and there. So if this Thresh dies, it's probably not the end of the world. Ooh, that's quite the bold play the opponent's doing there. Unfortunately, I don't have enough mana for the Vengeance, so he does end up bouncing the Encroaching Mist back to my hand. But it's fine, it's not like he can attack with those units anyway. I can just easily jump block them. I actually think that the Thrashes just then generate a whole board on their own when they attack. I'm actually going to do this in order to have Thrashes generate more units. We get Rumble. And now we're summoning units off of our hand as well.
Working as intended. Come on, baby.
And we even generate enough or way too many champions to the point where we just burn them. Pretty cool. I bet it would be even cooler if I had the Thresh's 6-star power. The one that makes it so champions everywhere get +1/+1 for each ally death. But I don't. Spirit Leech, Crumble. I'm going to take the Crumble. Sometimes you just need the removal. Titan's Axe or Excavator's Charge. I guess Titan's Axe is just consistently better overall. So let's take it. When you target an enemy, curse it with shackles. We can also get infinite vengeances. Yeah, that's fine. I did that as well just to see what was up ahead in terms of rewards. Now that I know that the next reward is an epic shop, I'm definitely saving my reroll for that one. So let's take the Bound Wings. it works with the what's it called? 2 mana drain a unit 1. It makes it so that unit is also shackled. Vile Fist, that's it. So it's even better overall. What do I do here? Let's go for the Curse Keeper first, see what the opponent does. I actually got lucky and hit Spirit, which is exactly what I needed to kill the Feral Mystic. Honestly, I'll do just that. Prevent the opponent from going ahead and
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
having board presence. Then next turn I can either go Thresh or Wings in the Wave. Never mind on the Thresh plan, I need to develop blockers for the opponent's board. Unfortunately he's getting rid of the Warden Spray, which had a bunch of keywords on it. It's fine. Thresh is going to be buffed up by a whole bunch here, or have his cost reduced by a whole bunch here. So now I can go Thresh alongside the Wings and the Wave and the Crumble.
Nothing a little steel can soothe.
And this should be enough to get rid of the Usgar the Ancient. And with that out of the way, there is nothing preventing me from just attacking like so. Starting making use of the Soul Lantern.
Come on, baby. Working as intended. Come on, baby.
My body is no longer my own.
Isn't that a bit too early? Actually no, he already has full mana. So that's exactly when he wants to play that card. All of the units in his deck are now going to be massive. Actually no, he was one off. So all I have to do is deal with this top unit. Is that the top unit? No. It only has one effect of the Ancestral Boon. That's not that threatening. That's the unit he had on top. Yeah, that's definitely not threatening at all. Let's get rid of the Overwhelm because that's the only thing I can properly block. I guess I could block with Thresh. But I'm better off just using Thresh to block something else. And now I can just attack like so, and the opponent probably can't do anything about it. This Rumble might die, actually. But it's fine.
Working as intended. Just need some
That complete bigger than you.
This Rumble is not dying, okay. So Rumble levels up here, right? Yep.
you go.
Ouch. Initiated. Physical discomfort system.
And now Rumble just, because I have so many Rumbles, I just end up proccing the Rumble's effect a whole bunch. I want to play the Salty Spinner. Yeah, sure, it's bigger than that unit.
One drop and I'll scrap you.
Unfortunately, I left the opponent at 2 health, and I don't exactly have a way to deal the last 2 remaining health it has. I guess I'll do this in order to prevent that unit from attacking unless the opponent pays up. He doesn't even bother with attacking. That's the thing I needed to deal 2 damage. Unfortunately, it's too little too late. Let's just attack like so. Force a bunch of death to occur. I don't appear to have any more rumbles in the deck. Interesting.
Initiated. Comfort systems
Well, whatever, the game's over anyway. And now all we have to do is face off against Anivia. Which I'm definitely not looking forward to. I can see way too many different ways the fight against Anivia goes wrong. Ooh, they who endure with Hunter's Machete, that's tempting. Astral Radiance, when you play a created card, reduce the cost of allied champions everywhere by 1. When you play a champion, level them up, you're welcome. I have enough money for that and Vile Fist. Yeah, I'll take both. Seems like fun. Just leveled up my champions without having to worry about actually going through the steps. That means I can actually get rid of the Biltrat Rascal. Yeah, let's do that.
On my wings.
Now for Anivia. Anivia starts on board and he definitely has a whole bunch of mana to work with. Getting the Undying down early seems nice. Gives me a sacrifice fodder and then I can go Death's Grasp and Crumble on a single turn in order to get rid of Anivia, even though it's not really that efficient.
The Freljord's eternal guardian!
Whenever I play a created card, I reduce the cost of the champions everywhere by 1. It's placed, so it's not like going for the wings and the wave works. So I guess I'll go Undying. I'll attack with both of these. Hopefully the opponent blocks the Undying, yeah. That's nice. Because by doing that I can also go for the wings and the wave here. And now the Infinite Mind Splitter no longer affects anything I have. And I get the Undying back. Which I'm definitely going to use to get rid of something big here. Probably that one, because it has Overwhelm. Wait, why did I get another Undying? Did it have Overwhelm or Deathless? Probably, otherwise it wouldn't have worked out. Well, anyway, I have a 0-cost Thresh that levels up immediately on summon, and is also going to get a bunch of neat keywords from the units that died this round. Mostly the lifesteal, that's the important part. Now I get to do this. Pull the Anivia. Because by doing that I can put it in range of Death's Grasp. Okay, that's way too many rumbles in my opinion. Calm down opponent or game.
Runs to splinters.
Let's ensure that at the very least that unit it just summoned back gets removed. I don't even know where Anivia is in the middle of all of this. I think she's in this rumble. So preferably, I would like to have that rumble not die. But I don't know if that's possible. Because all the opponent needs to do is play one very nice and I'm pretty much screwed. Yep. That's Anivia back. Let's drop down a junk construct in order to block one of the opponent's units.
I knew, and now I am.
I need more blockers. Camouflage soldier is a bit of a waste, but it's not like I have better options. Well, at the very least I have a vengeance for an upcoming turn. This deals 4 to everything, so it's 3 to Thresh, and then Thresh takes 14. So that's exactly enough damage to kill Thresh there, so I can't block Thresh with Thresh there. I need to do this. Unfortunately, the opponent just had that, and he also had lifesteal on his unit, so he gets to heal all of his health back up. But I can make it work. I can attack like so. I'll set up a kill in that unit with the Death's Grasp. Okay, that's fine. I can do this like I planned. Unfortunate part is that
Brace yourself.
I will waste one unit by doing this, when it would have been a good one too. It's fine, let's shuffle a Thresh back into the deck. This Thresh has lifesteal, so I can heal my health back up after the opponent's attack. That's good. The Rumbles capture 2 units here, and Anivia dies in the process, so yeah, even if he buries in ice, it's not like he has a lot of units to work with for an attack. And I know for a fact that he used the Harsh Winds last turn, so it's not like he has a Anivia in hand. Not like he can summon it with only 4 mana anyway. And this attack is completely pointless because my unit has lifesteal and heals it back up. I think I might have not only stabilized but actually reached the position where I can threaten the opponent for lethal. Depends on what I get here. Yeah, obviously with Thresh dying here I have more than enough damage. Buffing a unit in hand doesn't help, but healing yourself does. Fortunately, I can deal 2 extra damage by doing this. 3 actually, because I buff up the Escaped Abomination. Ooh, I even gave Thresh quick double attack. Turned the whole thing into overkill. Who would have thought that having an additional star wouldn't make that much of a difference? I guess an extra mana gem really is that relevant. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.